Hi students, this session is for class 7 subject mathematics chapter 3 decimals topic division of decimals. Topics covered in this session are division of decimals, division of a decimal number by 10, 100 and 1000, properties of division of decimals, division of a decimal number by a whole number and division of a decimal number by another decimal number. Look at the picture. How many apples are there? Yes, there are 6 apples. We are going to divide these 6 apples equally. Okay, before that, what is division? Division is when we split up a whole group into smaller equal groups. Okay, look at this box. There are 6 apples and we are dividing it to 3 groups. Okay, this basket of 6 apples can be divided into 3 smaller baskets with 2 apples in each. Likewise, we are going to divide these 6 apples into 3 groups. Okay, I am going to give 2 apples to one person and another 2 to other one and finally 2 to the third person. Therefore, 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3. I have divided 6 apples by 2 and I have shared it to 3 groups. Okay. Division of decimals. When a decimal number is divided by 10, 100, 1000 and so on, the decimal points move to the left by the number of places equal to the number of zeros in the divisor. Let us see some, you will get clear. Divide first sum 135.6 divided by 10. Here, which is divisor? You know very well, that is 10. Number of zeros in 10 is only 1. So, we have to shift the decimal point in the decimal number one step to the left of the number. Okay. On doing so, we get the result 13.56. If there is 1 0 in divisor, we have to shift one place to the left of the number. Okay. So, let us see another one. You have to, students, you have to keep it in mind that the decimal points moves to the left by the number of places equal to the number of zeros in the divisor. If there is 1 0, we have to shift decimal point one place to the left. Okay, let us see another sum. 135.6 divided by 100. Here number of zeros is 2. Therefore, we have to shift 2 places to the left. Okay, on doing so, we get the result 1.356 for the given sum. The same way, third sum 135.6 divided by 1000. Here number of zeros is 3. So we have to shift 3 place to the left. Okay. Okay. On dividing, we get on moving the decimal point 3 place to the left, we get the result 0.1356. Okay. Got it, student? So, 135.6 divided by 10,000. This is the fourth sum. Okay, here number of zeros is 4. So we have to shift 4 place to the left. But there is only 3 numbers. Okay, what to do? Yes, we have to add zeros for the remaining. Okay. So, number of place, you know very well that decimal point moves to the left by the number of places equal to the number of zeros. Here there are 4 zeros, but the decimal point moves 3 steps to the left. We are before 1. Okay. but we have to move 4 steps. There is no number after 1. Therefore, we have to add a 0 and give the result. So, the answer is 0.01356. Okay, students. For division, you have studied in the sum that we have to move the decimal point to the left. You have to keep it in mind. For division, we have to move the decimal point to the left. And already you know that we have to move the decimal point to the right for multiplication. So keep it in mind, students. We have to move left side the decimal point according to the number of zeros in the divisor. Okay. Exercise 3.2. Division of a decimal number by 10, 100 and 1000. Let us see first sum. Do the following division. Here, the second one, 56.218. If it is divided by 10, we know very well that when we divide a decimal number by 10, 100 and 1000, the decimal point shift to the left side according to the number of zeros in the divisor. In 10, we have only one zero. So, we have to shift one step to the left. On shifting, we get 5.6218. Now, we have to divide this decimal number 56.218 by 100. In 100, there are two zeros. So, we have to shift two steps. On doing so, we get 0.56218 as the result. If the decimal number 56.218 is divided by 1000, we have to shift 3 places to the left side. The decimal point should be shifted 3 places to the left side. But there is only 2 numbers. So we have to add 1 0 before 5 and we have to shift the decimal point 3 steps. Okay. On doing so, we get 0.056218 as result. Next sum. Third one, 8.9. On dividing 8.9 by 10, we get 0.89. You know very well that we have to shift one place to the left. Okay. Now we have to divide 8.9 by 100. On dividing by 100, we have to move 2 place to the left as there are two zeros in 100. But there is only one number, 8. So we have to add 1 0 before 8 and we have to shift 2 places to the left. On doing so, we get 0.089. Now we have to divide 8.9 by 1000. There are 3 zeros, so we have to shift 3 places to the left. As I told you already, there is only one number which is 8. We have to move 3 steps. So we have to add 2 zeros before 8 and we have to shift the decimal point 3 steps to the left. On doing so, we get 0.0089 as a result. Let us see another sum. Fourth one, 0.289. When it is divided by 10, you know very well that we have to shift one place to the left. On doing so, we get 0.0289. Okay. Now, on dividing by 100, we have to shift 2 place to the left. On doing so, we get 0.00289. Now, we have to divide by 1000. We have to shift 3 place to the left. The decimal point should be shifted 3 place to the left. On doing so, we get the result 0.000289 as the result. Properties of division of decimals. The first property, a decimal number is divided by 1. The quotient is the number itself. If a decimal number is divided by 1, the result will be the same decimal number itself. Let us see an example. 114.5 divided by 1, we get the result as 114.5, which means the dividend itself. When you divide a decimal number or any number by 1, you get the dividend as the result. A decimal number is divided by itself, the quotient is 1. This is the second property. Okay. If a decimal number is divided by itself, the quotient is 1. You know very well that whenever we divide a number by the same number itself, we get the result 1. Okay, let us see. 67.35 divided by 67.35, we get the result as 1. Division of 0 by a decimal number equals 0. Let us see. 0 divided by 1.23 is equal to 0. You know very well that if 0 is divided by whatever number, the result will be 0 itself. Okay. So, on dividing 0 by any number, the result is always 0. If you multiply a number by 0, the result will be 0. The same way, when you divide 0 by any number, the result will be 0. Division of a decimal number by 0 has no meaning. Okay. 1.23 divided by 0 has no meaning. How? Here on dividing 1.3 by 0, whenever whatever number you multiply with 0, you get the answer 0. So we cannot divide 1.23 by 0. So we call it as not defined. It has no meaning. So we call it as not defined. Exercise 3.2. First Roman, do the following division. Second sum 0.56 divided by 2. Here we are going to divide a decimal number by a whole number. First step, what we have to do? Divide the decimal number by the whole number, just as we divide two whole numbers ignoring the decimal point. Ignore the decimal point and write 56 as dividend and the divisor is 2. Now we have to follow the rules to divide the numbers. Okay. We know very well that 2 2s are 4. On subtracting 5 and 4, we get 1 as reminder. Bring down 6. Now it is 16. And 2 8s are 16. On subtracting 16 and 16, we get 0 as the result. Now, second step. Place the decimal point in the quotient after as many digits from the right as the number of decimal places in the dividend. Okay, here which is dividend 0.56. Number of decimal places in dividend is 2. Okay, after decimal point there is 5 and 6. Therefore, number of decimal places is 2. So, according to the number of decimal places, we have to shift decimal point from right to left for the result. What is the result here? 28. We have to shift decimal point 2 places from right to left. On doing so, we get 0.56 divided by 2 is equal to 0.28. Here the quotient is 28. Our number of decimal places in the dividend is 2. Therefore, we have to shift 2 places from the right side. From the right side, on shifting 2 places, we get the result 0.28. Example 8. Divide 125.6 by 2. We have to ignore the decimal point and take 1256 as dividend and the divisor is 2. You know very well 2 table. So 2 6 are 12. On subtracting we get 0. Now bring down the 5, which is the next number. On doing so, here is 5. 2 2s are 4. On subtracting 5 and 4 we get 1. Now bring down the next number 6. Now there is 16. Therefore 2 8s are 16. Now the remainder is 0. Number of decimal place in dividend is 1. Okay, after decimal point there is only one number that is counted as the decimal place. Okay, now we have to shift one place from right to left in the quotient. On doing so, we get the result 62.8. Let us see another sum. Fourth one, 171.48 divided by 12. First step, we have to remove the decimal point and we have to take the dividend as a whole number. So 17,148 is the dividend, 12 is the divisor. Only 1 12 and 17, therefore 12 1 is 12. On subtracting we get 5, bring down 1. Now the number is 51. In 51 there are 4 12s. So 12 4s are 48. On subtracting 51 and 48 we get 3. Now bring down 4. Now it is 34. We know very well that there is 2 12s in 34. 12 2s are 24. On subtracting we get 10. Now bring down 8. Now the number is 108. In 12 there are 9 12s in 108. So 12 9s are 108. On subtracting we get 0. Now number of decimal places is 2 in dividend. Okay, number of decimal places in dividend is 2. Quotient is 1429. So we have to shift 2 places from the right. Okay, on shifting 2 places from the right, we get 14.29 as the result of this sum. Second Roman, carry out the following divisions and write the questions. Second sum, 0.06 divided by 1.2. Here, division of a decimal number by another decimal number. To divide a decimal number by another decimal number, we have to multiply the divisor by 10, 100, 1000 and so on, depending on the number of decimal place, to convert it into a whole number. Okay. Next step, multiply the dividend by the same multiple of 10. Whatever number you multiplied with the divisor, the same number should be multiplied with the dividend also. Okay, let us see. Here the dividend is 0.06 and the divisor is 1.2. There is one number after decimal point. So we have to multiply by 10. If there is 2 number, we have to multiply by 100. If there is 3 number after decimal point, we have to multiply by 1000. This should be considered only for divisor. Okay. Now we are multiplying by 10 and 10. We have to multiply the 10 in the numerator as well as in the denominator. Whatever number multiplied in the denominator should be multiplied in the numerator also. Okay. Now multiply 0.06 into 10, we get 0.6. And when multiplying 1.2 into 10, we get 12. Now we are going to divide a decimal number by a whole number. You know the steps. Okay, first we have to ignore the decimal point. Okay, and now the divisor is 12. The dividend is smaller than the divisor, so we have to place point in the quotient and add 0. Now there are 5 12s in 60, so 12 5s are 60, the remaining is 0. Now what is the result here? How to find the result? Yes, of course. We have ignored the decimal point. So, number of decimal place in dividend is 1. So, we have to shift 1 place from the right to left in quotient. Okay, now quotient is 0.5. We have to shift decimal point one step to the left side. On doing so, we get 0.06 divided by 1.2 is equal to 0.05. Third sum, 97.275 divided by 2.5. Here we are dividing a decimal number by a decimal number. So follow the steps as I told in the previous slide. Okay, 97.275 is the dividend, 2.5 is the divisor. So, numbers after decimal in the divisor is only one number. So, we have to multiply by 10, the numerator as well as denominator. On multiplying by 10, we get 972.75 as the dividend and 25 as the divisor. Now let us divide ignoring the decimal point in the dividend. On ignoring, there is 97,275 is the dividend and 25 is the divisor. How many 25s will be in 97? Yes, 3. So 25 3s are 75. On subtracting, we get 22. Now bring down the 2 which is next to 97. On doing so, here number is 222. Now how many 25s will be in 222? Yes, 825. 825s are 200. On subtracting, we get 22. Now bring down 7. Okay, now the number is 227. Here there are 9 25s in 227. So 9 25s are 225. On subtracting, we get 2. Bring down the 5 now. On doing so, we get 25. 25 ones are 25. On subtracting 0, we get as the remainder. Now, number of decimal places is 2. Okay, so we have to shift 2 places from right to left in quotient. Okay, on doing so, we get 38.91 as the result for the sum. Therefore, 97.275 divided by 2.5 is equal to 38.91. Example 10. An overhead tank contains 162.5 liters of water. How many 12.5 liters container can be filled completely from the tank? So, total amount of water in tank is 162.5. A container can hold 12.5 liters. We have to find how many containers can be filled using this total amount of water in the tank. Let us move on to the solution. Amount of water in the tank is equal to 162.5 liters. Capacity of the container is equal to 12.5 liters. Therefore, number of containers can be found using the formula amount of water in the tank divided by capacity of one container. Okay. So, 162.5 was divided by 12.5. Now 162.5 is the dividend, 12.5 is the divisor. We have to multiply by 10. On multiplying we get 162.5 is multiplied with the 10, we get 1625. On multiplying 12.5 by 10 we get 125. Now 1625 is the dividend, 125 is the divisor. Number of 125 in 162, there is only 125. So 125 into 1 is equal to 125. On subtracting 162 and 125, we get 37 as the remainder. Now bring down the 5. Now the number is 375. There are 325 in 375. So 125 into 3 is equal to 375. On subtracting, the remainder is 0. Okay. Therefore, 13 containers can be filled completely with the water in the tank. Fourth Roman, divide. First sum, 100 divided by 8. 100 is the dividend, 8 is the divisor. In 10, how many 8s will be there? Only 1. So 8 1 is 8. On subtracting we get 2. Bring down the 0. Now the number is 20. In 20 there are 2 8s. 8 2s are 16. On subtracting we get 4 as the remainder. Now we have to place decimal point in the quotient and add 0 with the 4. And adding we get 40. Now we know very well that 8 5s are 40. On subtracting, get 0 as a remainder. Therefore, the solution for the sum is 12.5. 100 divided by 8 is equal to 12.5. Fifth sum, 88.236 divided by 4. So we have to ignore the decimal point. On ignoring, we get 88,236 as dividend and 4 is the divisor. Now we know very well that 4 2s are 8. On subtracting, remaining is 0. Bring down the next 8. Again, 4 2s are 8. On subtracting, we get 0 as remainder. Now bring down the next number, which is 2. And 2 is smaller than the divisor, so we have to add 0 in the quotient and bring down the next number 3. Now the number is 23 and we know the 4 table that 4 5s are 20. On subtracting 23 and 20 we get 3 as remainder. Now bring down the next number, which is 6. Now the number is 36. 4 9s are 36. On subtracting, we get 0 as remainder. Number of decimal places is 3 in dividend. Okay, 2 3 6. Okay, after decimal point, numbers 2 3 6 are there. Therefore, number of decimal places 3. There are 3 numbers after decimal point. So, we have to shift 3 place from right to left in the quotient. On doing so, we get the result 22.059. Therefore, 88.236 divided by 4 is equal to 22.059. Seventh sum. A shopkeeper sold 8 mobiles of the same brand and model for rupees 1,98,806. How much does each of them cost? Here, the total price of 8 mobiles is given in the question and we have to find the cost of a mobile. So, we have to divide here. Let us move on to the solution. Cost of 8 mobiles equal to rupees 1,98,806. Cost of a mobile is equal to, we have to divide rupees 1,98,806 by 8. Let us divide. 1,98,806 is the dividend and 8 is the divisor. In 19 there are 2 8s. Okay, so 8 2s are 16. On subtracting we get 3 as reminder. Now we have to bring down the next number 8. Here now it is 38. In 38 there are 4 8s. 8 4s are 32. On subtracting we get 6. Now we have to bring down the next 8. So now the number is 68. Okay, 8 8s are 64. On subtracting we get 4 as reminder. Bring down the 0 now. Now the number is 40. 8 5s are 40. Now the remainder is 0. We have to bring the next number, which is 6. 6 is smaller than the divisor 8. So we have to add 0 and decimal point in the quotient. Now we can add 0 after 6, and adding we get 60 here. In 60, how many 8s are there? 8 7s are 56. On subtracting we get 4. Can add 0 with 4, and adding we get 40. Now 8 5s are 40. The remainder is 0. So cost of a mobile is equal to rupees 24,850.75. Eighth sum, if a ribbon that is 71.4 cm long is cut into several small pieces of 1.4 cm, how many pieces will we get? This is the question. The total length of the ribbon is 71.4 cm and it should be cut into several small equal size pieces. Each piece length is 1.4 cm. So, number of pieces got from the ribbon. Okay, that is the question. Let us move on to the solution. Length of the ribbon is equal to 71.4 cm. Length of a piece equal to 1.4 cm. Number of pieces is equal to length of the ribbon divided by length of the piece. Length of a piece. Okay, which is equal to 71.4 divided by 1.4. Now we are going to divide decimal number by a decimal number. So follow the steps. The divisor has one number after decimal point. So we have to multiply by 10. On multiplying the numerator by 10, we get 714 as numerator. On multiplying 1.4 by 10, we get 14 as denominator. Now the dividend is 714 and the divisor is 14. Number of 14s in 71 is? Yes, 14 5s are 70. On subtracting 71 and 70, get 1 as reminder. Now bring down 4. Now the number is 14. 14 ones are 14. Remainder is 0. Number of pieces we get is equal to 51 pieces. I hope you all are able to do division of decimal numbers. Okay students, thank you.